Hello, fellow Whoop pilots. My name's Dan Sugano, but you might know me as FPV Skittles, and I'm coming to you today as a part of Whoops Worldwide. And normally, for the last 3 months, we've been running a UTT that you would do with your local club and a timing system, kind of in a larger space. And April 1st was supposed to be the first day that we came out with the second UTT track, but because of the social isolation and all the shutdowns across the world, and especially the United States, we decided that most people wouldn't be able to do the UTT with a club since no one's holding events right now. And so instead, we decided that we would make a isolation UTT that anyone could do in their homes. And that's what you see before you here. It's a very simple track that anyone can set up with just 5 gates and 1 pole. So if that sounds like fun to you, watch the rest of the video and set up this track in your house and submit your time. Alright, so we're going to start with this view right here, looking through the start-finish gate at the rest of the course. And if you look at the diagram next to me, you should be able to see the gate numbers. And what I want you to see here is that the center of gate number 1, the start-finish gate, is lined up with gates number 4 and 5 that are perpendicular to it, and then gate number 2 in the back, the side of that gate, is in the line with the center of gate number 1 and gate 4 and 5. So that's going to be the center line of your course, and if you look at the spacing, if the start gate finish gate is at 0 feet, then the center of the pole between these 2 gates is at 5 feet, and then the plane of gates 2 and 3 is at 10 feet. So now you can see a corner view of the same course, with gate number 1, the start-finish gate, lit up in LEDs on the right side of your screen. And then at the far end of the course, 10 feet away from the start-finish, are gates number 2 and 3 set next to each other. And then in between those two, at 5 feet centered away from the start-finish gate, is a pole with gates number 4 and 5 on either side of it. So the maximum size gate is a circle with an inner diameter of 24 inches, or a square with an inner side dimension of 24 inches, like a tiny Whoop Cube gate you see here. And the last thing I want to point out is that for gate pairs number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, the centers of each gate need to be set at 30 inches apart, no matter what size the gates are. Alright, I just want to reiterate that you don't need to have a tiny Whoop Cube gate to set up this course. You can use your own homemade gates, like these 20-inch LED gates I have here. You just have to make sure to set them so that the center of the gates are 30 inches apart. So here's a view of that track with the 2 gates in place of the flattened cube. So next, I'm going to go over the course you have to run with DVR and a line of sight view. Alright, so here I'm going to do a demonstration of a couple different paths you can take that all are acceptable for the Mini UTT. Really, you can do any path you want, you just have to go through the gates in the correct direction. So you're going to start with the start-finish gate, gate number 1, and then go around gate number 2 and come back towards the gate through it. And then gate number 3, the same thing, around and back towards the course through it. Then you go counterclockwise around the pole, and then through gate 4 away from the course, and then the opposite direction through gate 5, and then back to the start finish. So here I'm just showing a couple different ways you can fly through the gates as long as you go through each gate in the correct direction. That will be acceptable. So you can take a path around the outside of the gates, or you can go over the top and back through them, whatever you feel is going to be the fastest for you. And your best 3 consecutive laps will be your time. Alright everyone, so other than setting up the track with the correct size and spacing for the gates and running the course in the correct path, the only other requirement is that you turn on an OSD timer. This really helps us verify the times, and it just makes things a lot easier. So if at all possible, please turn on your OSD timer. So if I didn't say already, This track was designed by AK, Anthony Knight, so big thanks to him. And I really like this track because of its simple layout, but if you run it a bunch, you'll see that there's a whole bunch of areas where you can really cut corners and shave some seconds off your time. So I'm going to be excited to see who can run this track the fastest. Alright everyone, good luck and happy whooping!